This is a change of environment, not something you are used to. Probably the first and last I'm going to be using this kind of setting. I'm in the middle of it, and I think that it's just very important that I start a vlog. I don't want to keep you guys waiting.
I love you deep in my heart.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Miss AKF here. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always tuning in. You know I love you. For those that are new, welcome to this growing channel. My name is Kehinde Jojuwanchukwu. I film about lifestyle, motherhood, faith, and every of my experiences in living in Nigeria. Today, this is a different scene. I hope that you like it. This could be the first and the last time I'm going to be using this, but then I think it's beautiful, and I decided to take the opportunity, to do this video. I'm in the middle of a shoot. I feel like if I don't do this right now, I might not post a video this week, and I don't want to keep my subscribers waiting. First, before I start today's video, how are you doing? How is business? How is life? How is career going? How is that transition going? How are you handling life? How are you settling down? How are you managing this phase that you are in? I feel like the last few days have been a lot. I've been coping. I'm happy that I'm able to do this sit down video at this time. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I enjoy trying to be here in your faces. Yeah, so let's get to the video of today. As you can tell from the title of today's video, I'm here to share an experience with you that happened sometimes back years ago. This is not to say that prophecies doesn't work. Don't forget, God cannot be mocked, right? He is God regardless of what the situation is, right? I gave my life to Christ 2010 when I was in year one. I kind of had to do away with my relationship. I kept hearing, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I broke up that engagement because, of course, it wasn't a godly relationship. And considering the fact that as a Christian, the moment you give your life to Christ, you want to, as much as possible, because you are young and growing, you want to, as much as possible, try to be in God. And then you need to surround yourself with everything that directs you, or everything that puts you in that direction. I don't know if you understand what I mean. If you understand, just drop it in the comment section. I want this to be very engaging and interactive as possible. So as a Christian, the moment you give your life to Christ, the first thing you are thinking of is, what are the things that I've been doing that are not Christ-like? It's a very gradual process, right? And I think that you can take it, gradually. But then I had to do away with the relationship, and from year one to year four, it was more like my study, God, and just building myself in the spiritually, getting to know more of God, getting to learn of Him. Don't forget, I grew up in a Christian home, and I was going to church, but then I did not experience Christ the way I started at that time. By year three, I had a very good friend that we became very close, and then I used to have a prayer chain. If you are in Uniben, you went to Uniben and you know Ekenwa campus, or you are in Ekenwa campus, you will know volleyball court. Volleyball court is a place where Christians gather to pray. A lot of other things happen, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be focusing on the positive. Yeah, we go there to pray. I think there's a field facing volleyball court. I don't know if that's still the case, but there's a field facing the volleyball court, because sometimes the volleyball court gets filled up. We sometimes move to the other side and pray. I won't forget this day when we went to the other side and we were praying, and words started coming out from, we were just 4 or 5 with my group of friends. We were praying, and word came out that this particular guy is my husband. I'm sure at some point one or two of you watching me must have gone through this experience, but I'm just sharing mine just to encourage somebody that's currently there, or is going to be is going through it right now. So when the word came out, we were still friends. Don't forget, at that time, people were actually already insinuating that we were dating, even though that was not the case. I was busy in the house of God. I've done year 1, year 2, years. Year 3, I was busy in the house of God, and I was working for Him. Just don't forget, I'm trying to also build myself in that capacity. And we were, we're really close, and we were talking. Sorry, when I was in year 1, it was in year 2. And so we're just a year apart. So when I was in year 3, still in fellowship, it was in year 4. And then while praying at in year 3, the word came that it was going to be my husband, or he's my husband. I'm like, what? It came. We were close, right? I didn't see. Like I said, people were already insinuating that we were dating, but I didn't see it as a big deal. I was calm about it because I didn't see us dating. I saw us as very good friends. We connected on at a very logical level, even though there were things that we didn't agree on, but then on that level we connected, right? So when I heard that, I kept it. In year 4, I became an escort in fellowship. I wasn't in a relationship, so um by the time I became an escort, I couldn't go into a relationship until maybe um that was the policy then. And so this guy asked me out while he was preparing to go for service, I think. Yeah. He was still, when he graduated, he would come to school once in a while. He stayed in Delta, school was in Benin. So he comes once in a while. Maybe he was coming to do clearance. We see, but then he started asking me out when he left school. And I explained things to him based on, currently I'm an esco, I can't go into a relationship. I do not discount your feelings. I understand. I actually feel the same way, but I feel like it is not the right time. So both very matured about everything, and we're cool and we're calm. You know, we're calm-headed about it. Despite the vision I had, I did not rush into it. I think one of the mistakes that we make is people. The moment you hear it is God, we don't ask when the right time is. We don't know when the opportunity is. We don't even ask if it's when it's going to happen. I think I had friends that were hearing is my husband that's at 200 level. I'm like, 200 level. What's going to happen? So it could be, oh, is your husband? You guys need to, at that time, it could be, you could ask God, okay, fine, I've heard it's my husband, he's my husband. What is the next thing to do? Am I supposed to jump into a relationship with him? Am I supposed to learn of him? Just ask him so that you're not just making decisions unnecessarily. And so when I heard that, he asked me out in 400. Don't forget, I did not have this conversation with him. I had the prayers with my friend. We heard it, we saw it, but I held on to that word. There was no need going to tell him about it. If he's God, he should also hear about it, right? That, at least that's how it should work. It shouldn't be one-sided. God has told me he's my husband, but is God telling him as well I am his wife? I think at this point I need to state that regardless of you hearing that it's God, it doesn't guarantee that the relationship will last. There's still work to be put in, you know. There's still work to be done. Don't forget, two cannot work together except they agree. So the two of you still need to work together to align to God's purpose. You've heard prophecies and you've claimed it. Are you working in line with that prophecy? Don't just think that saying amen would make it work. You get. So when after my tenure as a fellowship, I felt that it was the right time to go to the into the relationship. At that time, he was preparing to go to service, so he went for service. He was posted to a very far place. We could handle it, of course. So our initial plan was whatever they post me to, before I go for my service, I would say hello to him at his place of deployment and then head over to my own state. When my posting came out, I was posted to Niger State. So Niger State to where he was then, it was like going from two ends of Nigeria, very far. I knew that I couldn't go to that kind of distance to go and see man. My mama go kill me. I had to let him know. I was like, I'm not sure I can I can't do this. There's no way I can go on that kind of journey you know, knowing fully well that um, it's risky. So we held on to ourselves and we kept the relationship going. We continued to work together, but then we were talking, communicating. We started having the first breakup. This guy said um, he didn't see us getting married. I was like, what? So God says self they get problem. Like, oh, you can't see us getting married. Well, then I remember that it was me that God told it. Maybe he hasn't gotten his own conviction. When that first information came, I was taken aback. It felt like I wasn't safe when I thought I was safe. Like, but I went back to God because He was the one who said it, and I started praying. Like, if you had said it, even not from me alone, confirmation from 2 or 3 people, then what exactly is going on. I remember, like I said, I didn't jump into the relationship, so I won't say that it was not time. We took our time. Maybe it wasn't really time after all, because I don't know. So I prayed, and by himself he came back again that day, apologized, and we got past that stage. So I went to service. He was serving as well. I think it was almost done while I was just going in, and then in fact, we broke up. I can't count how many times we broke up, and even me, I started feeling unsafe because somebody can wake up and say I'm not interested again. While me, I was seeing husband, he was saying he's not sure. So guys, I think at some point in between during service, I actually dated somebody else while we were on break, and that dating was going well. And then something else happened. He called back to say he was again in my face. Then I told him I was already seeing somebody. He didn't take it well because he was thinking, I don't know, maybe he was expecting me to stay. I can't process what was going through his mind. But then I feel like he was expecting me to stay, or if we claim to be in love with each other, then we should at least have those moments where even when we are not dating, we are holding on rather than moving on with another person. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. But I moved on, and I hope this gist is not all over the place, but I hope you are following. I hope you're enjoying it. I'll try as much as possible to, you know, be very aligned and follow the process. So stay with me. So towards the end of my service, we came back together, and it was already by that time he was already in Lagos. So I felt like, of course, after service I'll be going back to Lagos. So I thought that the relationship after service I was going to go back to Lagos. So of course we would have time to pick up and then build our relationship right, especially because of how far we have been handling it distance wise. So when I came to Lagos, in fact, he came the next month. He came to see me as soon as I landed in Lagos, and he was staying in another issue. In fact, dating in Nigeria will stress you. Now, even dating inside Lagos will stress you even further. He was staying in another end, I was staying on another end. Guys, he came for the first time to visit me. Jeez, for a guy that is still trying to get himself, he finished service, he was still trying to get a job. Coming to my house for the first time, I think he spent a arm and a leg. But things you do for love, right? I didn't think that was going to be a problem. But guess what, guys? I got job the month I came to Lagos, and it was a very. I jumped. This is just for another day, but I jumped on the job, and it was a job of how you be looking for a job and you enter Monday to Saturday. I'm available. Are you 18? Can you come? Yes, I shall jumped on the job Monday to Saturday. This guy started complaining. On Saturday, I would go for church rehearsal. I was busy in church as well. Sunday was the only time I could rest. Even the Sunday, I'll be in church from 7 a.m. If there was only communion, I would need to be in church. I was a choir. I was doing so many things in church. So there was so much weight on me. And it wasn't allowing me, you know, do right in the relationship, and I was seeing the gaps. And again, we broke up. So my question, that was how we broke up. We kept talking, but I knew that it was going to land us in the same place because I was holding on to the job. He couldn't come from where he was. I couldn't go. Even when I suggested meeting in middle, I feel like he wasn't understanding. He couldn't get why we would be meeting at locations when we could as well just meet at each other's place and get to know our family and friends, like that. Anyways, the relationship ended, and I just want to say that the lessons I learned was one, probably we could have done better, handling the situationship or the relationship. Number two, whether God said or not, you still have the the power to make your relationship work is still in your hands. And so, at this point, I want to say that if you are experiencing the same thing or you've experienced such, I don't mind you sharing in the comment section because I want to see where I went wrong or where we went wrong in the relationship. Even though the relationship is not on, I'm married now, happily married, guys. But I just want us to, dissect and talk about this for the sake of young people who are venturing into the same thing. I also feel like we'll be helping one or two people by sharing this experience. Also, to state that I don't mind coming back to do an updated video based on what we discussed in the comment section. So I'm happy that I had this very short time to chat with you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for still watching up to this point. Don't forget to share your own experience in the comment section if you have gone through something like this. Are you currently dating the man God said? Are you married to the one God said? Have you ever been in a position where you heard God said, and how did it go? How did you manage it? I'll do an updated video to this when based on the experience that we share in the share in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It is growing and I'm growing with you, and I want you to see the growth. And so thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching to this point. I will see you. I gave my life to Christ in 2015. No, sorry, scratch that. And he kind of took it, he didn't took